Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we confronted Gladys and Helio at the very bottom of the Jaws of Judgment and witnessed the true travesty that is the Judgments themselves. Afterwards, we came back to Rimedhal and were able to rescue Martha as she was about to be pushed off the cliff for the Judgment as well. And we found out that Adele is a fairy, as she had to reveal her true form in order to save Martha. It was quite a surprise, and it has definitely caused quite a stir around here in Rimedhal, even if it doesn't look like it. Things are not looking quite up for us. But today, we're going to be building up our strength and then entering the Hall of High Holies to go after Dominic, who has been obviously behind everything that's been going on here. So, first things first, I want to talk about some items that I recommend you get before going into this dungeon. Priority number one, I would say, would be the Mana Robe. While, yes, its defensive stats aren't anything particularly exciting, its ability to resist both fire and water is going to be something very, very important later on. Same thing with the Flame Talisman, which will make it to where you're immune to fire. Thunder Talismans, which make you resistant to lightning. Ice Talismans, which also make you resistant to water. And then things like the Ice Fire Shield and Typhoon Shields are also really incredible. Overall, an immunity, or at least a resistance to fire, water, and lightning is going to be something that I suggest you build around. While that won't be important for the dungeon coming up, the encounter that we will be having very soon, and since I'm not going to be leaving the Hall of High Holies once I enter it, I wanted to go ahead and talk about that then. If you're curious, you can buy Flame Talismans pretty much in any shop, and Mana Robes you can be bought in Halcyonia, Savalon, or Wiswall. Alright, it's been a while since we've been in the Hall of High Holies itself. We can finally grab this treasure chest right here. It was irking me the first time we saw it. A Jade Crochet. See here. It's a lot less weighty, I think. No, not really. It's, not really that great. We'll keep with the Gaia Rod on for her for right now. Also, yes, we do have two new jobs, the Swordmaster and Spearmaster. Ideally, we will be seeing a little bit of both of them in this dungeon. Let's go ahead and use a medium JP orb on each of them, so we just have access to more abilities, Fluid Stance, Counter, and Banish Devotion. We'll wait to go over exactly what all those do, but I will touch on the specialties. Swordmaster's specialty is redoubled effort. The more BP the user has, the more damage inflicted when regular attacks and Swordmaster counterattacking abilities are performed. The more BP, the stronger you are. Pretty simple. Their special ability is Severance, which is a powerful physical attack on a single enemy with the bonus effects Speed and Critical Chance up by 15%. Spirit Master. Spirited Defense is their specialty. When spirits summoned by abilities are present, instant death effects and status ailments that render their target inactive, so a very, very long list of abilities, are prevented, and as long as HP is at 20% or higher, the user can survive any attack with 1 HP, making it very difficult to take down a Spirit Master, even if they don't have their passives up. And their special ability is Holy Mist. Greatly restore all allies' HP and apply Regenerate and Re-Raise effects, while boosting magic attack by 15%. A very good special ability. Alright, let's go ahead and see what they can do in action first. Going behind the Hall of High Holies, we arrive in its back rooms. With a party chat. Sorry I didn't say. Look, I'm sorry, okay? Alright? What for? What do you mean, what for? For not telling you I'm a fairy, of course. Oh, that! I'd almost forgotten. Stop it. Look, I just need you to know that I wasn't trying to trick you or anything. Seriously, I'm not bothered in the slightest, and I doubt anyone else is either. Stop getting so head up about it. I think I get why you're upset, Adele, and I understand why you didn't say anything. You were scared, weren't you? Huh? You didn't know how a load of humans would react when they found out one of their friends was a fairy, did you? So that's it, is it? Well, it's easy for me to say, I know, but you needn't have worried. I, for one, and certainly am not going to be treating you any differently just because you've got a wee pair of wings. It really is easy for you to say, though. Poor Adele must have been bricking it. He's right, I was. I was just too scared of what might happen. Thanks, I feel a little better having talked it through with you both. Maybe not so bad. Too right we're not. so no more worrying, alright? Okay. There was also the nice little foreshadowings earlier on where she was always like, you humans, and they really are so stubborn, aren't they? It's because she technically isn't a human herself. I sort of talked about that and brought it up, but I didn't really want to give away too much. Okay, so the Swordmaster starts out with two various stances. We're going to be showing off Solid Stance. Adopt a stance where the attack command is automatically performed twice every time it's selected. The way I'm going to be doing regular battles, hopefully for a little bit, is utilizing Solid Stance and then using Indiscriminate Rage to hit all enemies in combat. With Counter Savvy, this shouldn't be that big of a deal. We'll go ahead and examine all of these bozos later. Solid Stance. And then we can see the damage output is pretty decent. Counter physical attacks is not a big issue here either. We're able to take them all down pretty well. Gloria learned Regenerate right there. So that's what we'll be using for right now. If I run into any snags, I do have Level Slash in my back pocket, and I also still have Adele, who will have Crescent Moon or something. So we'll have the ability to do that. So we still haven't examined any of these guys, but one consistent weakness around here is a resistance to water, which is why I don't have the Ice Brand equipped. So I'm going to be just sitting here and utilizing the Defender to do most of my damage, since swords are pretty much a necessity for the Swordmaster. I mashed through the text there. Oh, we got Magic Attack Booster Run, I think? What did Adele get there? She got Full Force. Applying spells or other abilities to multiple targets will increase their effect, including the amount of damage inflicted. Really, really, really good. Let's go ahead and put that on her. Let's get rid of MP Saver and put on Full Force. Since right now she has... Ooh, let's put on Crescent Moon. That way we can utilize Full Force. I guess we can also examine some of these guys. Let's see what the Gaganas are all about, and then we'll do 2 Crescent Moons. So, we 2400 HP, we do Lightning and Bows. So we can see a decent damage increase right there with Full Force. Crescent Moon is still not really the best ability to use. Ooh, okay. So, we've got Spirit Master here. We can utilize Healthbringer. It'll summon a spirit that will passively restore all allies HP 3 times through regular intervals. Do note that multiple spirits cannot be on the field at the same time. That rule can be broken later on, but for right now, we have to abide by it. Banishes light magic damage. Devotion is restore target's MP by equal to 20%. Max MP, decent MP battery here. Regeneration is restore target is basically regen. If you've played if you've played a Bravely Default game before or Final Fantasy, regeneration is just regen with a longer name. Let's go ahead and apply Healthbringer, and then I'm also just going to go ahead and panic heal myself. So we can see that there is now a buff on Gloria. That buff will be persistent through her death even. This is a very, very difficult buff to remove when it comes to the enemies trying to fight you. And so it's pretty reliable. There we go. Seth learned Fluidless style. So the way that the stance dancing works for Swordmaster is that when you enter a specific stance, whether it's solid or fluid, you will then have access to unique moves in that stance. So for example, if we were to look at Solid Right style, it is a physical attack that will delay the enemy's next turn, but it can only be used while in solid stance. Fluid Left style is a when attacked, hit the enemy back with a physical attack that will reduce the enemy's BP by 1. This can only be used in fluid stance, which, if you were wondering, is a counterattacking stance. But obviously we will not be taking a look at fluid stance right now, as we're just trying to mow down the enemies. There we go. So there's a little bit of complexity to both of these jobs that we've gotten access to. So hopefully we get to see everything that they have to offer. If not, well, I mean, we will see everything they have to offer, for sure. Let's go ahead and use 2 Crescent Moons, and we'll just go ahead and poke one of them. Level ups for everyone else. Almost job level 6 on our 2 new jobs. I'm assuming we will be capping out Salve Maker on Elvis, and since he's not really contributing much to fights, I can really just put him on whatever I want afterwards. I think this is actually the way forward. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's go back to that circular room, because this was the southern entrance. Let's go left here. Oh, we're running into a lot of enemies here. None of these enemies are afraid of us either, meaning that we're going to be getting a lot of bonuses. Gloria learned Re-Raise. I think I've talked about this briefly, but let's go ahead and take a look at it real fast. She got Banisher, which is just a stronger version of Banish. Re-raise. The selected ally will be automatically revived if knocked out. The effect will remain until target has been revived or their effect has been removed. Basically ensuring that even if someone does go down, you have a buff that will immediately raise them again. You don't need to waste action on it. It can be pretty good. It obviously can be dispelled before the action can go off, but for the most part, you will usually see benefits from it. Seth learned Out with a Bang. That is a passive where it will do a massive amount of damage to all enemies if the user has fallen in combat. It can be abused a little bit. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is something you can do. Ooh, we got a spiked shield right there. That is a new shield. Right here. A shield whose painful protrusions augment the wielder's attacks. It is a shield that can increase physical attack. Fortunately, it is very weighty, and so I don't see myself actually being able to utilize it properly until I'm higher level or on a job with more weight, so we'll probably have to put that on hold for right now. Here's a treasure chest right here. Remedy. I think there's one other one right there, maybe? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I guess having Divining Rod on is probably for the best. So let's go up this time. I said, let's go up, and okay, more enemies.
Watch out, guys.
Oh, it's like this is the headquarters of a highly organized organization. That was very redundant of me. And it has a lot of people standing guard because of all the chaos going on around. Speaking of, Salvemaker got maxed out. Yay! Let's swap Elvis back over to Red Mage. We shouldn't need to change anything too crazy, but let's put him on Red Mage for right now, since I want to cap that on him as soon as possible. I guess I can say that it is pretty cool to see the enemies themselves have access to, like, the Dragoon Spirit Surge ability, since it would be pretty surprising if this dungeon, if Rimedhal themselves were not proficient in jumping abilities, because, you know, there are whole areas with dragons. Come on. Let's go back down this way. I know this is technically where the objective is telling me to go, but I don't think this is telling me to go the right way. No, it is, but I don't want to. I want to go over here. Because I believe this dungeon has hidden rooms. As we can see with that enemy outline, it'll kind of give us an idea of where to find them. That one right there had the artisan gloves.
Brace yourself.
Hardly worth the bother.
I just realized I did not examine those guys or talk about them at all. I just kind of mowed them down, which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and take you down, I guess. Ooh, a heart ring. That's a new item. Why did I go to the job menu? Let's see what you do. You are a 200 MP increase. Wow. That's not bad, actually. Let's go back up here real quick. I think I've missed quite a few chests already, and so I think what I'm gonna do is recuperate myself and go back down to where I was earlier. There's a hidden room right here, don't want to worry about that. Okay, I wasn't crazy. Thanks to our sword being able to break rocks, we can strike that crack in the wall there and grab this treasure chest. 7,400 peak. I knew there was another one around here somewhere, I just couldn't remember what I was supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. There's also another hidden room right over here. And this one has Witch's Whisper. And also, let's go ahead and see what this enemy is all about. If Willem will let me fight them. Let's see here. You are the Abaddon. We already can see your HP variants. Let's see what weaknesses you have. Weak to water, swords, light, and staves. Pretty useful. This would be like the only enemy in the entire dungeon that the Ice Brand would benefit fighting against. But, the reason why I've taken the Ice Brand off right now is just because a lot of these enemies resist water. Now, if I go back to the first set of stairs that we saw on the first floor and go up them, we arrive right next to a... okay. I actually don't know where I am. I assumed I did, but I guess not. There's a breakable wall right here. Finally getting some use out of that rock-destroying sword. Giving ourselves the Acorn Hat. If you were able to see gear differences, this would definitely be a piece of gear I'd have on the entire game. Lightweight, sturdy headwear fashioned from a giant nut So, pretty decent physical defense increases here. Let's put this on Seth. He's really the only one that's really lacking in a strong, decent magic defense. Let's put that on him. Increase chances of being hit is also not too bad. Moving down over here. Oh. Moving down over here. Oh, hello, another breakable wall. Hey, we're finally getting some good use out of that. I've said it like 3 times now, but it's true. It's you don't really get to use this sword very much in dungeons themselves, so it's nice to have that. We're probably just gonna use like handgun here, take these guys down. There we go. And mostly, oh, Gwillem could have actually wrapped the fight up himself. Either way, lots of level ups, and as you can see, we're doing pretty good on job levels. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm just navigating the dungeon real quick. Curious, or Curious, as I used to call it. Let's take a look at you. You are down here. You are heavy armor. Okay. I think I'll pass on you. At least for right now. We have a lot more loot to grab, I think. Okay. Ooh, a hidden wall right here. Takes us to the other side of this floor with another treasure chest with Tengu Yons as a throwable item. It's very nice. And more of these Abaddons, which I'll go ahead and take down.
Let's do this.
Since most of the enemies in this dungeon are actually humanoid and just actual humans, there really isn't a great monster steal from this area. So that's why I really haven't put on a Beast Whisperer or anything like that right now. It's just not really worth it. Get those level ups. And grab this chest. Nasty surprise, because of course, there's always got to be one per dungeon. Or more. Okay, it's some Abaddons, it's not too bad. Thank you for being weak to swords. Fourfold Flurry. Okay, I think we can probably take a bit of an aside here. Ooh, large shaped orb. We can take a bit of an aside here and talk about the new abilities we've gained. So we have Out with the Bang, I've already briefly mentioned that. We have Divide Attention. For 4 turns, the user will be targeted as frequently as their most frequently targeted ally. Basically, this means that if you don't have a tank in the party, you can use this to divide who gets what aggro. Or if you have a Swordmaster and a tank, but either the damage output is too crazy or you want to get some use out of the counters that the Swordmaster has, you can use this to divide the enemy's attention to hopefully get more of those counters. Fourfold Flurry is a perform for 4 physical attacks on a target in quick succession. This is a pretty decently strong attack. It overall could be stronger than things like Neo Cross Slash, but the attacks are weaker and the expenses aren't as great. I mean, this is like 52, 54 MP for 2 powerful attacks. This is 48 MP for 4 regular physical attacks. Still really good, and definitely the Swordmaster's main means of dealing strong physical damage in a short period of time. But yeah, it probably will not be the most reliable move. That doesn't mean I won't be using it, though. And then we go to Spirit Master here. We have talked about Re-Raise, Spirit Bringer, another spirit that will restore all allies MP 3 times. Again, 2 spirits can't be summoned at once, so you have to choose between Health Bringer and Spirit Bringer. Then we have Subjob Specialty 1. The first specialty listed for the user's subjob is activated. This lets you take advantage of any job's first specialty if you have this passive equipped, and it's obviously your subjob. So for example, with White Mage being our subjob currently on Gloria, if we were to put this on, she would have access to Angelic Ward, which is not bad. So immediately, if you are running a magic attacker build and you're not on Red Mage, grabbing Nuisance isn't a bad idea because it gives you access to those ailments. Putting the Bard's Extended Outro for more turns on your songs isn't really a bad idea. Things like that would be pretty good. So that's just an extra piece of information to sort of consider. There will, I'll go ahead and spoil this, there will eventually be a Subjob Specialty 2 passive, and that's where things get really funny. But for right now, Subjob Specialty 1 is pretty good. We'll see some uses out of that later down the road. Going back around to the second set of stairs we found, you can sort of see that Abaddon hiding in that room over there that we dealt with earlier. Go back up these stairs. I've had to put a ward light on because I've run into so many fights that I just don't want to be super overpowered or overtuned. So we can go down these stairs here. And this should lead us to this room that we were in earlier. We saw that first hidden room. If we go to the right this time, though, we arrive to more stairs. Cool. So let's see what we have here now. Seems like a straight hallway. And, okay, just some more rooms. Fun. Alright, well, let's go down. Right down here, if we were to walk up and around, we would have another set of stairs, but we'd also have some enemies to fight. Oh, just a dead end. Well, I don't think there's anything really to interact with. Ah, but there is a cracked wall on the southern end of it, which will reveal an entirely hidden area. One thing I like about the hidden rooms here is that there are like little crevices for like mini libraries where books and tomes are sealed. So it's not like it's just literally an invisible wall. It is a corridor that, because of the camera angle, we can't really see very well. I like it when games do that. This hidden area gives us a treasure chest with, whoa, okay, 13,000 pig in it, making up for the costs of purchasing all of those mana robes and flame talisman. So with that done, though, oh, I didn't even see the enemy right there. They're blending in. And okay, now we can move up these stairs. And this takes us to, okay, we're back on the second floor. We have another circular area, so we can see the progression we've made. We were on that floor below us right there near the fountain, and now we're above it. So, if we were to walk around... Oh, hello. Hello! Okay, we've got two fights and I got back attacked. Great, okay. That's not good. There's a lot of enemies here. Unfortunately, Severance is only a single target, so I can't really showcase the special move right there. So we'll just go ahead and sweep them as best I can. Seth is unfortunately out of the running right now. These guys are not undead, so we can take advantage of Spirit Surge to deal some damage to them. And they're also weak to light, so we can utilize Banishra. See how much damage this does. Not expecting it to... Oh, okay. 1,200 damage, that's pretty good. I don't think there's anything over there on that end, so let's just move forward. We do have a teleport pad and a save point. So, after much deliberation, I have decided that we're gonna continue forward. And we've appeared in this, okay, huge room here now, with a party chat in the Hall of High Holies. The Hall of High Holies really is a marvel. The faith of the people of Rimedhal can work wonders when put to good use. That it can! They built it right where the first one of my ancestors came down from on high, you know. And from that moment on, they worshipped the dragons. Yep, this place is kind of a monument to the first time our two kinds met. I once read that the mere sight of it was enough to take one's breath away. And it's true. It's as if the building itself has been built from the devotion of the people who worship here. Yeah, shame it reeks of death like nobody's business. Well, that might have something to do with me going around murdering all of the guards, but, you know, that's beside the point. I should feel all calm and serene coming in here, but instead I feel all antsy. Yes, the quiet here is no longer the stillness of worship. It is the silence of mourning, whether the Archbishop realizes it or not. Well, there's such a thing as faith being too blind, as he's more than proving. If Dad's voice isn't even getting through to him, things must be really bad. Well, while we may sympathize, we cannot allow the situation to continue. We must put an end to this once and for all. That we must! Dad's counting on you, and so am I. I mean, you're pulling your weight, Gwillem, I'll say that much. So we can look around this other segment of the dungeon. Yeah, there's still quite a bit to go. If we were to take the northern path, I said if we were to take the northern path, we would find ourselves with an Abaddon and a treasure chest. I like loot. We can see there's 6 treasure chests for us to find in this other floor. I think this is the fourth floor. We're currently on the 3rd floor. We're on level 3. And there are 2 floors we kind of have to manage right now. We have this one and another one. Let's go ahead and take the northwestern floor. We'll kind of go in a counterclockwise motion, I think. think that'd probably be for the best. So let's move around here. Grab another treasure chest. Heart ring, we've already talked about what that can do. I guess we'll fight this Abaddon while we're at it. CNM's chosen hero, Aimless. Okay, we'll be taking a look at what Aimless can do. If we go over to the western entrance, we should enter... Oh, well, this is kind of worthless, don't you think? I don't even think there's anything we can interact with. No, there's no broken walls, nothing. Okay, well, that was kind of a dud. Hopefully the next one is a bit better. If we take the southwestern entrance, we get an enemy for one, and also more loot. Perfect. Better than that other entrance we had. Ooh, 8 mini ethers. I was looking away for like half a second to look at my notes, and I just turned away. Oh, hey, mini ether. If we take the southern entrance, we get a fight for one. But we also get another stairwell. Who would have thought? Woo! This is... Oh, end room. Where does this lead? This leads to another treasure chest. The Sands of Time. Now, I was talking about gear you wanted that was very, very important earlier. The Sands of Time is another one of those. We cannot currently buy those, but if you've been following along, you should have 2 Sands of Time. This is very, very good. Stop immunity is going to be our best friend very, very soon. So make sure you grab that Sands of Time, and there should have been a previous one found in an earlier area. I just remembered it's technically not in a specific area. It is a reward for a quest. I believe it is the quest revolving around Annie Hall and fighting the Mushusu. No, not the Mushusu, the Sandworm. Killing the Sandworm and completing that Annie Hall questline should give you the other Sands of Time that we have access to right now. That surprise treasure chest had the Summoner's Axe in it, which Summoner's not a job in this game, so let's see what we got. A strange and sinister axe that's said to have the power to summon demons. Not really, but, you know, it's here. It's a pretty decent axe, too. If we were running Vanguard, that would definitely be first up on my list to put on my characters, for sure. So, moving around here, we have to go back through the way we came. We have to go through the hidden area. Let's do that. And then we can also move up, and there's another hidden area that leads to wherever this is. Let's actually hold off on that for right now. Since there are 3 more corridors we can go down, just let's do that instead. This corridor, right over here, the bottom right corridor, has nothing. Okay, well, this is worth a shot. The yellow baseball diamond of holiness is pointing us to the eastern corridor, so let's take the northeastern corridor first. This gives us some loot. I got a skull breaker right there. At least I think I did. I don't think I remember having this. An axe that can crack crack heads open with ease. If you use it as an item, you get Skull Bash. If we have had that item for a little while, then I apologize, but it seemed like I got something new right from that battle. We got Hush Pollen right there, and I think that's all of the remaining treasure chests for us. So now let's take that eastern corridor where the yellow baseball diamond of holiness is pointing us towards. We've got a teleport pad, very useful, and what looks to be just another pretty straight corridor. This is another pretty long and involved dungeon, if I do say so myself. Thankfully, the enemies are a bit easier to manage, in my opinion, compared to the Jaws of Judgment, but it also helps that I started using Counter Savvy from the very beginning of this dungeon instead of at the very end of it. Job level 9 on Gloria there. Oh, right, that reminds me. We got a new ability on Seth. 2 hands are better than 1. Equipping a sword, axe, spear, or staff in the user's right hand will result in it being used in both hands, increasing its stats to 40% normal levels. This is very, very good. Unfortunately, I don't really have, like, a good solution to this, because I don't want to give up JP Up and Up. I guess I could remove Raw Power for a little bit, just to showcase what it looks like. So, right now, Seth's stats are 228 in his physical attack. If we were to remove the buckler, he would then hold the defender in 2 hands. His power then goes to 268, which is an extra 40 attack power. Pretty decent. Let's see what the difference is when it comes to raw power versus 2 hands are better than 1 at this point in time. I think we are going to see more results with raw power. They're about the same, but I think I'd rather have raw power on for right now. Adele got Brave Front and maxed out Dragoon. Lots to talk about. So with Videl, we got Brave Front. Spells or attacks affecting all enemies will inflict more damage the more BP the user has. Basically, it works very well with the full force that we got right here, which will increase the damage dealt by abilities that hit multiple targets. Brave Front will basically do something very similar, but the damage scaling is based on how much BP you have. Just a lot of AoE-based abilities. We also got Spirit Crusher, perform a quick physical attack on a single target. That has a good chance of removing one of their BP. Pretty decent. We also got Soul Jump. I don't think I've talked about this. All allies jump out of the field and then come crashing down on their next turn, performing powerful physical attacks on random targets. Basically, this is a party-wide jump where everyone then performs a jump. Can be useful if you have a lot of physical attackers in your team that can actually benefit from this. Otherwise, might not be the best use of your time. But hey, I mean, it's there. But that maxes out Dragoon for Adele. So let's go ahead and put her on something else. Let's go ahead and put her on Ranger for right now, just so she can see if she can cap out that job. The enemies are starting to be afraid of me, which means that I'm also probably going to stop fighting them here pretty soon. Going down and around, we kind of come back to where we were earlier, where we have the hidden room that we appeared in with the southern entrance. If we go back up through here, now that everyone's afraid of us, we can explore this kind of without any real issue. We don't have to worry about any more treasure chests, so let's just move upwards. I'm not seeing that the cape is clipping through Seth's pelt right there, and that's making me very, very annoyed. That is okay. We have a new staircase for us. Very exciting. Actually, I don't see what's at the top of there right now, as I think we're going to save that for next time. So, next time on Bravely Default 2, we're going to make some extra preparations, heal up, switch over some jobs if we need to, and then see what's at the top of this staircase. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.